Right, this is the new plaque. It was unveiled yesterday, December the 6th, 2020, to sort of commemorate the Siege of Plymouth, the Siege Memorial. It's right in front of the Siege Memorial here, and it's got a good illustration of what Plymouth looked like in 1640, in the 1640s. Towards the end of 1642, 5 works went up here. This is the Lipsome work, Holywell, Magdalen, Pennycombe-Quick. New work was started a little bit later, that's why it's called New Work. These forts were built overlooking major roads or river crossings. Millbridge here for the new work. Pennycombe-Quick here, you can see the bridge, where the train station now stands. Magdalen Fort here to the right of the Leat, which is at the top of North Hill, looking towards Mutley Plain and Townsend Hill. Holywell Fort, which is behind us to the left. Lipsome Fort ahead of us on the corner of Lipsome Road, where those houses and that tree is now. Now, the Battle of Freedom Fields, as people call it today, started in this area, the Lipsome Mill area, which is at the far end of Mount Gould Road near where Astor House once stood. This was the fort that was overrun by the Royalists and during the night of December the 2nd to the 3rd. And then they stayed there. I think uncertainty, because the alarm had been given by one of the garrison who escaped, firing his musket. They weren't sure what was going to happen, so they rather thought to wait till daylight before moving. In the meantime, Colonel William Gould came up to Lipsome work and gathered reinforcements from several of these forts along the line. They moved along what was a military road to get to Lipsome, and some soldiers from the garrison came up from Resolution Fort area, so one of the gates down this area, Eastgate probably, moved up what is now Lipsome Road to reinforce Colonel William Gould. And also 60 musketeers were sent around behind the Royalists' forces, who were now, in the morning, beginning to line up west to the east of Lipsome Fort, in an area here known as 5 Fields. The fighting there took place in an area that is now built over with houses and lasted several hours. Several hundred men were killed, several hundred more were wounded, there were a few prisoners. But this here map gives you a brilliant idea of what Plymouth looked like in the Civil War. It shows you the forts around the coast of the Catwater. Here, Fort Stamford, over at Plymstock. Got Drake's Island, St Nicholas's Island. Plymouth Fort, which is gone. The Old Castle is there. St Andrew's Church. Charles Church should be going up soon. It was being built at that period, so it's not on the map yet. The old friary is all gone. This is in this area here, where Resolution Fort stands now. You've got forts along here. Charles Fort is where the police station now is, Charles Cross. You've got St George's Fort. That's around Newwork. It's North Gate, where Marks and Spencer stands now. So it gives you a good idea of what Plymouth looked like in the Civil War.
Phil, could you please show us on the map where the military road was and what the military road is called today?
There is no military road as such. I called it a military road because all these forts were built in front of a road that went from North Road East up to North Road West towards Mount Gould Road and Ladysmith Road and Clifton Place, obviously. That leads right behind the fort, and I think that was a cleared area that was used to rush reinforcements from one fort to another once they were threatened, because during the Civil War the Royalists attacked many of these works a few times. There were 3 big periods when there was a lot of Royalist soldiers in the air and they tried to take some of these forts, and troops were rushed along the road behind the forts to get from A to B quickly. You needed a road, and I believe North Road East, West, Clifton Place and Mount Gould Road, or Ladysmith Road, was the area of the military road.
And the fort is on the high...
It's on the high ground behind the forts.
And it forms a nice...
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It's
It's not changed, that road. If you look at it now, it's windy roads, because all roads are straight normally, but these roads are windy roads, and it makes sense to have that military road. But an interesting map, and it's very good. It shows what Plymouth actually looked like, and it gives you a little detailed event, a sort of a narrative about the fighting around this area. Quite interesting.
Thank you very much, Phil.
You're welcome.